production. And so what they did was they said they break up from the IBM and they started their own company called SAP. So in 1979, this is what is the company formed, and they started with at that time there were no mainframe computers were available. So they started with a R2, that is only application and a database. That is release 2, it's called, which is 2 means database and an application. Then they started R3, which is the client version, client server, which is your database application and the user interface. So release 3 is SAP stands for R3 means release 3. Okay, 3-tier architecture was used, and they started with 1.0, 2.0 until 4.7. At this time also there was finance was a different module, HR was a different module, and they didn't have the database, so they were using SQL or DB2 or Microsoft this thing, IBM DB2 and SQL and Oracle databases. So R3 is the version which ran up to 99. Then by 2004, they started a product called as SAP ECC. There is a ECC means enterprise as a central component, ERP as a central component, which is a enterprise and architecture. At that time, they had only one database. R3 had more than 1 or 2 databases. Again, the same problem was there to compile. End of the day, the reports generation was the problem. So they come out with the enterprise architecture, which is called ECC. ECC stands for ERP as a central component. And they came up to 6.0. So SAP 6.0 was there. During this time, they were using the databases of DB2 and SQL or Oracle. So then HANA, the person here called as Hasso Plattner, is the name of the person. He introduced a database called as HANA in competition to Oracle. So until this time, they had SAP software available, but databases they were using from a different company. So what they did was they started using a HANA as a database. So they had a complete solution of SAP now. So that is called as a S4 HANA. Okay. So what is the significance of S4 here is R became S and 3 became 4. SAP S4, and they are using a HANA database. So that started in 2015 onwards. 2015, then they started releasing the product by the year 2015. This is 1511. 15 is the year and 11 is the month. 1605 they another release, another version. Okay, the S4 HANA they started as a first they merged the database of HANA with ECC because a lot of people already had using ACC now, and everybody they moved from Oracle DB2 to HANA, and they started releasing products. And now the current release is around 2024. So you will hear the words as a feature pack. The small developments all they do with the feature, and service pack is every year, once in a year they introduce. So 2005 is also available. 23 latest one, 24 are also available. Okay. So I will show you how the ECC system was looking. SAP R3 release 3 ECC ERP as a central component is looking like this, where all the modules, financial accounting, controlling, fixed assets, project system, industry solutions, sales distribution, material management, production planning, quality management, plant management, human resource. All these modules were integrated in a single database, either by DB2, SQL, or Oracle. Okay, and For maintaining all these activities from the software point of view, hardware point of view, there is a person called a basis as a functional consultant. This person is needed who will maintain this all the hardware, backups, everything. ABAP is the programming language to modify the process. Okay, this is a general enterprise software used by all the companies for Germany or India or France. So little bit of modifications is needed to be done depending on the country and the process, either it's a manufacturing or a retail or a service industry or a telecom manufacturing. So according to that, some modifications have to be done. That will be done by ABAP. So you need a group of all the people to maintain this, to run the organization. The screens of SAP ECC were basic screens, Windows based earlier. So create a purchase order, you need to enter a transaction code as ME12N. ME21 is the screen. And if you enter this, or a drop-down menu used to be coming, and logistics, inventory management, then you stock, then plant stock visibility. So there was, like now in mobile, you have app-based small screens. There used to be 3-4 screens to be open to enter data, and the number of data to be entered also was to be high. So ME21 is for creating a purchase order, ME22 for a change, edit of purchase order, 23 is for a display. So until you know the transaction code, and there used to be more than 100 and 150 transaction codes, you can imagine, for creating purchase order, creating a purchase acquisition, Miro or a physical inventory. You had so many transactions code to be remembered. Okay. These are the basic screens of ECC. Some of the people who are extreme people will know. So now they introduced S4 HANA. This is the latest software available from 2015 onwards. So S4 HANA has again all the basic modules, but they are called as a financial is different. Okay, logistics is different, but the basic modules will remain. All the will remain. On top of that, there will be new companies which they acquired. Like for example, Ariba. They acquired a company called Ariba and Concur, and Ariba is a niche product of purchasing. SuccessFactors is a niche product of HR and manpower management, like that. So Hybrid is one thing, Concur is another thing. Otherwise, the rest of the basic modules will remain same. Finance covers AP, AR, GL, okay, asset management and all, human resources, manufacturing, supply chain management. So all these basic modules will remain same. And here the screens look like this. There is a lot of difference between the screen which was available, which I showed you for ECC is different, and for the screen which SAP S4 HANA is different, because this is more of a, like you use your mobile Fiori. This is called as a mobile application, is called as a Fiori. There you can easily go to the app procurement view. Okay, my inbox will show me how many purchase orders I need to authorize, or I need to create today, depending on the MRP. All that it will show you in a this thing. And this is all depending on the control. Like you work in a purchase department, you will see only purchase apps. If you are working in a finance, you will finance apps only. So stores management, he will see only his apps, and he can see his all activities for the day, and you can. So that is the difference. You see the difference in the screens. This is the older screen, and this is the new screen. So it's so easy to operate S4 HANA. So the next is the main difference I will try to explain again. SAP ECC R3 ECC 6.0 had an option of either you use a database Oracle or IBM or SQL. So we used to pay around 10 lakhs, 12 lakhs rupees as a license fee to the SAP. So that is why this gentleman, Anna, he introduced the S4 HANA database. Okay, and all the from 2015 onwards, all the new purchase of it's mandatory to buy HANA. You cannot buy with SAP, with Oracle or DB2 or SQL. So S4 HANA is a new database and it is very faster and user friendly. There's some technical terms I will explain you later. So when somebody asks you what is HANA, HANA is a database used for SAP in the world. So what does HANA stand for? Is the SAP HANA is in-memory database technology. Another difference is there used to be in the old ECC this thing, the storage used to be different. It is a NAS, network access storage, and we used to have terabyte of data outside the computer, the main box. Okay. Now what has happened is it has been made as an in-memory this thing. On your main server only, there will be terabytes of data on the main server I'm talking about. So the access time will be lesser and your processing will be very faster. That is why SAP HANA is an in-memory database technology. Okay, so you are increasing the computation capacity by making local available RAM storage, which will increase. I will show you the hardware requirements. This is one of the way of doing that one, increasing your performance. Then of the problems which Oracle, IBM, and SQL had was those concepts are improved and your processing time is increased. And if in the interviews, if they ask you what is HANA stands for, it's an ASO's new architecture, HANA, or it is a high performance analytic appliance is the acronym. Why is HANA is fast? See, when we used ECC, we had too many tables. You know, in sales and distribution, in a database, sales database, we had around more than 200 tables. We have inventory, we had another so many tables. So now in the simpler mode, they have modified it. So sales and distribution only has 7. Master data, there is only 1 database. Inventory management. I think some of the DB database here will appreciate reducing the tables will increase performance drastically. So this is the concept we used for ECC and the Oracle database. Now the HANA, after the introduction of HANA, the number of tables have reduced drastically. So the performance increases. Another this thing is in a database, they used to store data in a row and column. Now it is only in column and in memory. So the storage box is now very reduced, and all the memory in memory will do the computation. It will not go to the SAN. So one data store, no redundant data. This is if any DB person is database expert is available, he will find out duplicate tables, duplicate rows, multiple things, and every once in a month you need to clean the data. All that which is used to happen in ECC is not available now. No locking. In ECC and Oracle database and all, locking is the major problem. When you are doing a processing of some invoice or this thing, it will lock the tables which are connected with the processing. So that locking is not available now in the HANA database. So these are some of the technical points. You will find this more in the detail on the net. You can find out. Another reason why SAP HANA is popular is covering all the industries in the world. So it does ERP software in chemicals, components manufacturing, life sciences, medical, travel, transportation, okay, aerospace, Boeing, banking. So these are the total available industry solution. You buy the software, then you implement it in your this thing using. So healthcare is also there. So, and this is SAP is auditor's favorite. The reason why is auditor's favorite is they will you cannot delete a row or a column. I created an invoice. I will go and delete it. That is not possible. If you delete also, the record exists in this thing. In earlier ECC database, the whole record used to get deleted. In any database, Oracle or a DB2. In HANA, you cannot do that. It will be stored as a deleted, but it will be stored. So the auditor can access and check. So safety point of view and security point of view, HANA is more popular with the auditors. So as S4 HANA product release, so we talked about ECC 6.0 R3, that was called as a legacy SAP. Then what they did was, as I explained to you, here the database used to be DB2 or Oracle or SQL. So they called it as a suite on HANA. The ECC, the database was removed. They put the HANA database on ECC. But it was like, HANA was a high performance database. ECC was a low performance system. So it never matched. But they ran it for around 5 to 10 years. Then they introduced total solution on SAP because, for building an enterprise resource ERP software development, it takes 5 to 6 years of work. So until that, they didn't wanted to create problem for the users. So they introduced suite on HANA. Then afterwards, they shifted all people to S4 HANA. In S4 HANA, there are two words you keep hearing: on-premise solution and cloud solution. That I will explain you in this one. So this is an in-premise solution and this is a cloud solution. So this is the hardware, how it looks. SAP hardware requirements is it runs on any or equivalent of Intel Xeon, IBM Power 7 series thing. The operating system is to say Linux, Enterprise Server 11, Red Hat Enterprise 6.5 is also there. Virtualization is very important. Okay. VMware virtualization is required because you buy a big IBM Power 7 series server, then you need around 45 to 50 servers to run in SAP. I will come to and explain to that later to you. I have that. So network, you need an high-speed Ethernet connector, fiber network. So as I said, it is an in-memory this thing. So this is the kind of memory you need, 128 GB. And this is called as a smaller version. And it is by t-shirt name, this is called extra small or small, which is 128 to 256 GB. That is the CPU memory that is needed. I'm talking about in-memory now here. Outside memory is different. That also goes. So 512 to 1 TB is middle and large, and 2 TB to 48 TB. See the amount of memory that is on your server. is 48 TB is talking about extra large. So historical server had 256 GB. HANA server has a 42 sockets and number of servers. These are the memory sizes, and these are the they call it as a T-shirt size, small, large, and extra large. And it's very important to have a high availability server. So you will buy 2 boxes, and you do virtualization and make a connectivity, and you introduce SAP here or copy here. It works on RAID 5. Whatever is written on one drive, it goes on the second. So if one of the server goes down, you have the other server working. So high availability is also available. So SAP hardware point of view, you need 3 servers when I'm talking. One is called as a development server, where you, after buying the licenses, depending on your company requirement, you do the development in that server. And 100 is called as a golden client, sandbox, test client. See, these are all number of servers. Okay, that is why I said you need 45 to 50 servers. I'm not saying total boxes. It is one box, big box you purchase IBM 7 series. Then you use a virtualization and make smaller servers, and you make boxes. And one is called as the whole setup is called as the development server. Once you do the development, you move into quality and you do the testing there. Okay, then you move into production. Production server, then you will not allow any testing to be done. All that testing, everything is to be done in the development and the quality. And once you move into production, that will be used for the data, your product activity. So I was talking about external drive. You need solution manager, which is it monitors the version of the SAP and all those things. Okay, and these are the different. Fiori is the latest. All the, as I showed you, it's an app-based software now. So Fiori interface is also required. So coming to what are exactly the products available in this thing. If you are a small organization use SAP Business One. This is for companies where users are 100 or 200. Small businesses, the product is called SAP Business One. Okay, and for $1,500 or $300 million company, it is S4 HANA is given as an enterprise solution. So there are one is a cloud version, another is on-prem solution. So we have totally 4 products: SAP Business One, both cloud as well as on-premises. Okay, S4 HANA for large and medium companies, which is you have the on-premise and the cloud. In on-premise, you should remember that it is you can do customization in that, you can modify changes. But once you go to the cloud version, like for example Excel, you cannot do a requirement as per that. You can, whatever is Excel is available, you are using Word, you are using. Okay, so S4 HANA is also like that. Very less customization on a cloud version. On-premise, you can do all the modifications, but it's a lot of headache having an on-premise solution. I will show you that. So SAP on S4 HANA on-premise solution, you should have an IT team. IT team means these are the people who know what is SAP, what is the business processes they should know, what is the functional requirement, what is the technical requirement of ABAP or all those things, and what is the master data, all that. So IT team is the important function. And you need to have a data center to create all the networking, your virtual VM backup, then all the your laptop should be having the right version of the upgrades and all those things. So data center team is needed. Then you buy licensing from the SAP. When you buy licenses, as I showed you, different depending on your business, whether it is the oil industry, utility, or a manufacturing, you buy a license from them, and you use it for purchasing. You give it to one person, then finance, AP to person will account payable will guy one. So around 15 to 20 minimum is required to run it. So you buy licenses. Licenses cost also differs. You buy license, then you do a business user team is also required. Okay, you take the main core users, IT team, and business users are from the business team, and license you buy. Then you do for the implementation of all this in your company, you need a implementation partner like SAP. SAP is also implementation partner. Or Yes Technology or IBM or Accenture, you hire them, make a deal with them. You need to first implement your hardware, then you buy licenses, you build your IT team, then your business users. Okay, they will come and customize or implement the whole thing. The whole process takes 6 months to 7 months, depending on the number of users and all, because you need to train all the users also. So, and make them aware of the whole solution. So this is an on-premise solution, which is the hardware, everything will be in your company. Okay. There is another solution which is cloud solution. Here you buy licenses and you host it on SAP or any other cloud provider like Amazon or Alibaba or anybody who has got hardware. They will give you data center for a rental. You host all the SAP product onto that, including software, including hardware, including networking. Okay, they will do the implementation also, and they will give you. So as a user, you need to pay. You can pay by monthly basis or a daily basis. So if in the previous company, when I implemented 2 crore, I spent for the hardware, 2 crore for licenses, and 2 crore for the implementation. 6 crore is the total cost of ownership for the SAP. But if you buy licenses, I need to pay only around 3 lakhs to 4 lakhs for 100 users for a month. My capex will be reduced drastically. So this is the main difference between a cloud and a on-premise solution. And on-premise solution, you need to have a team of 15 to 20, depending on the size, everything. So maintaining them, because once they become expert in SAP, they will leave your organization after doing the implementation. Getting a techno-functional consultants and keeping them in your organization for a long time is a very difficult task. So in cloud version, they take care of all these problems. So there are advantages and disadvantages. Okay. For implementation, why did I say 6 months this is what is this thing. Total cycle of implementation. So these are the different phases of implementation. So you do the project preparation. You need to have people. You need a project manager, and module wise, you need an expert. You need a basis expert. You need a web expert. Then all your hardware maintenance, network engineers, everything all together. So prepare a project plan, level 1 training for the project plan, technical plan, kickoff meeting. Then you need to put all your business processes like purchase to pay cycle, inventory management, how APAR and GL is maintained, or profit loss statement, MRP1, MR2. You make a business blueprint and as is process and to be process. These are the things to be done. As is the process. Without SAP, what are the process steps you follow? And in the to be processes, after implementing SAP, what are the changes you have done and how automation is done, all that you document. You take business from the IT user, you take from the business user, implementation partner also will sign. Then you say, okay, I will implement this in the 6 months. So you take test system and show it to the user. Then you need to do the master data, your all type of currency, unit of measurement, okay, and all the transactions you do, all the master data, manpower, everything you do that. Then you do the build the process end to end. You all the processes are developed in the test system, and in the realization you show it to the user and get an approval. Then you do the final preparation and go live. So this whole process, including around implementation partner, will put around 20 to 25 people depending on the modules, IT team, business users, SAP team, all together. If you work together, then you will be able to implement successfully the project. So some of the modules I will just discuss here. So I will be faster. Finance and controlling, it all does the general ledger, account payable, account receivable, financial accounting, cash management, legal consolidation, asset management. So these are the things which in finance and controlling. These are the module names and material management. So what are the things you do in material management? Purchasing, resource determination, quotation process, purchase order follow, ERA, okay, warehouse management, the MRP 1, 2, demand planning, everything. Production planning, you do data management. This is the master data I'm talking about. Okay, long-term planning, MRP, made to master production schedule. Okay, all these activities in production planning. Sales and distribution. I'm talking about only 5-6 important modules. I'll just show you. But SAP as a 25-year-old company has built more, acquired more companies and developed more modules also. Human resource, important department. You do time management, payroll processing, organization where you have manager, senior manager, PM, general manager, all that you need to define, and you know the payroll processing, income tax, travel management. Okay. Quality management also important. This slide will be shared with you. You can just go through because running out of time. So plant maintenance is also important if you have a manufacturing unit. So all these processes will be done. So coming to the important basis is, as I explained to you, is the very heart of the operation of this one. He maintains all the backup, software levels of SAP as well as the hardware. All these things will maintain. So he maintains the total SAP architecture, system administration, SAP database administration, transport and batch job administration. Very important person. Basis and ABAP are two important functions. As I told you, ABAP is a programming language in the SAP. You cannot do, you cannot change anything in SAP. You cannot modify. You have to inform SAP on if you do any modification, and that too you will be doing it through ABAP. So these are the things you can do. You can do report changes, interfaces, conversions, enhancements, forms, and these are a technical term in the interview. They will ask you what are the ICFW. Okay, you need to be able to explain R for reports, I interfaces. These are the things which we do. So coming to career opportunities. Okay. Basically, if you are a BE or any graduate and with a knowledge of basic computer trained in SAP modules, then you can become a functional consultant. I told you material management, quality management, finance, ABAP. These are the functional consultants. You need to work on good SAP, either on a ECC or a this thing. And if you work on 0 to 3 years, you will become a good functional consultant. Techno-functional consultants, 3 to 6 years experience. Some are called a subject matter expert, like for example, material planner, MRP, APO. These are all needs very lot of experienced people. They called it as a SME expert. Then project manager, about 10 years. So these are the modules I was talking about. So for implementation, FICO, you need a trainee, plus you need a senior consultant, or you need a SME, especially finance and material management, SD, and basis and above. You need a very good team to look after these things. So these are if you become expert in a FICO and a MM, then you can easily become a project manager, working after around 6 to 8 years, and with implementation of around 3-4 companies. If you do, then you can have a good opportunity. The best thing I suggest is you attend some trainings which will cost you 20,000 to 25,000, but do certification for a FICO or a MM or a HCM. That will add value. That will have cost you another 25,000 from SAP. So by 50,000, you can, within 3 months, you can become an expert in one of the modules. And obviously, you will get a lot of opportunity call from the company. So these are the basic modules. I told you around 45-50 modules are there. Some of the additional modules is the project system, plant maintenance, environmental, health and safety. MDM is another, master data management, because it's a lot of data is involved for big companies. Treasury management, extended warehouse, all these things are document management system. So costly niche products is the high-end thing. Ariba, SuccessFactors. If SAP will cost you 2 crore, they will charge you 2 crore for the Ariba. This license costs you based on the revenue you generate. So it is a very, so see, number of modules are so many. So each you can become an expert on 1 or 2 only, then you increase your So this is the junior consultant, 0 to 2 years. Okay. Shadow with senior consultant, learn on job. Then to become a senior consultant, 5 to 8 years. Lead in manufacturing, project manager, delivery head. This is how the growth of US will happen. And I don't want to talk about money you get. Obviously, SAP has a lot of demand. So you can become data engineer, you can become application developer, subject matter expert, business analyst. This is the latest one which is going on. Data warehouse and data scientist is another thing. Okay. So if you see in Naukri.com, lot of requirements on module based, basic requirements, material management, FICO consultant, APO, lot of